Suave Star has written in and said, why does Bischoff hate Missy and refuse to talk about her?
He doesn't, on his podcast, he says nasty things about me every week.
He actually, he brought you up in February, I believe. I listened to the video about that whole situation. It was only a condensed version of stuff. But, okay, I'll re-ask it then. When did you and Eric get sideways with each other, and what was it over?
Well, Eric, when he came to WCW, he was an announcer. They had him on the C show, on the Canadian show with me, because he sucked as an announcer. He was so horrible. And he was all worried about his job, if he was going to get a contract and this, that, and the other. One year, I even bought him a tie for Christmas, because I was bought all the announcers' ties for Christmas. And then he was trying to sell this kids' team challenge game that he had made up, and made a little diorama and all this other stuff. So he came to LA and wanted to try to take it around and sell it. I let him stay at my house, drive my 63 Corvette to his meetings, and stay at my house in LA, stay in my room, my extra bedroom with the guy I was dating. And anyway, he ends up getting friends with the guy that I was dating, thinking that guy could help him get in Hollywood or whatever. And when me and that guy broke up, Bischoff started fucking with me left and right. I came in with short hair. You need to go back and get extensions. You can't have short hair. And I'm like, there's nothing in my contract that says that I can't have color hair or do my hair different. Because I was always changing my hair, because that was the only thing that I had control over in my life. He just did so many mean, evil things to me. Bischoff did, because I had broken up with that guy. And he was friends with him. And that's one of the reasons why I got fired, because he says it was because of Sherry Martel, that I was upset Sherry Martel was coming in. He doesn't realize that me and Sherry were good friends. I knew she was coming in before he told me she was coming in. I was excited and asked Bischoff if I could go down to the power plant and learn how to work a little bit so I could work a program with her. And he was like, no. And then he would tell, when I was with the Nasty Boys, he told the director not to put the camera on me. Don't put the camera on her and stuff. And then when the picture of my boob came out after the Clash of the Champions, or the pay-per-view, that I had to jump on Sting's back and my boob had popped out, and they took a picture of it, and it was hanging up in the photo studio at CNN Center. And I saw it when we went up there to take promo pictures, and I ripped it off the wall and crumpled it up and threw it away, but I ended up taking it out of the garbage, thinking I might need this. So I went to Eric and I said, I want an apology, and I want all these copies, because it was a color copy, and he didn't do anything about it. So not Jim Hurd, but one of the suits above him asked me, how did the Clash go? And I told him about the picture, and then I told him about how it was, I used my smartness, but I know about the business, and told him what I thought they should have done instead of what they did. And Eric said I went over his head, and so he fired me. And the thing is they called me. I didn't call them. And they asked me, so how did the Clash go? And I go, well, to be honest with you, at the end, the match was at the pay-per-view. The Clash was always setting up for the pay-per-view. And it was the Nasty Boys versus Mankind and somebody else. I forget who it was.
Max Payne.
Max Payne. And it was falls count anywhere in the building and no time limit. Well, they wrestled them at the Clash, and at the time limit, right there at the 20 minutes or whatever, they went 1, 2, 3, and then, but the bell had already rang at 2. So it showed them, but the camera angle, they didn't get that on the camera angle. They just got them getting up and getting the belt. So the people at home didn't really know what was going on. And on the replay, because I got kissed by both of them, I run in the ring. And so, they both kissed me, and I'm screaming. On the replay, instead of showing them getting beat 1, 2, 3, they showed me getting kissed again. And I said, that doesn't sell tickets. Kissing the blonde girl doesn't sell tickets, but showing them that they beat them in a time limit match, and the next match is no time limit, that sells tickets. That's what I said. That's what got me fired.
So the original report was, and I know you've already, what you said is completely contradicts this, so I'll say the original report. So it goes So this goes into the sexual harassment lawsuit that we'll bring up
Right.
in a minute. The original report was that you had been let go for going over Eric Bischoff's head to Bob Dew regarding contract negotiations, and that you resigned before you could either re-sign or decline to re-sign. So was there any contract issues with...
No, they told me my contract was being renewed, and then I got fired.
Right.
You know, and it was all because Jason Hervey wanted to come around and snoop around wrestling and be around up Jason. He wanted to be up Jason Hervey's ass, and Jason was upset that I broke up with him because Jason was a liar and a cheater and went on a boat with Byron and with girls and didn't tell me about it. I had to hear about it from Byron's girlfriend. And once you break trust in a relationship, I'm just the type of person, once you break trust in my relationship, it's over with for me. I can't be with you.
Yeah.
If you lie, over something stupid like that, if nothing was nefarious, then you should have told me. By not telling me, I think nefarious things happen.
Yeah.
So
does it sort of like help Eric's argument that you didn't want to be in the same company as Sherry or something, and then she replaced you?
I don't know.
How did that work?
What's so funny is that me and Sherry were really good friends, and that's what's so funny. And I wanted to work a program with her. I was so excited hearing that she was coming there because I asked to work a program with Fifi, Flair's maid.
Yeah.
And I was told no. I would come up with ideas all the time and would get shot down all the time. Ideas for me to do something.
I'll bring this up a little later, but there's a photo of you with about 6 of the ECW women in 1996.
Yeah.
As well. So, I mean, it seems
That's
like...
when we were doing the calendar.
Yeah.
We made a calendar that never got
Shane Douglas
produced.
wasn't in blue trunks in that one, was he?
No. It was all the ECW girls.
And I'll bring that up because it's like, well, you obviously didn't have a problem being in a company with so many women there.
No, I love girls, And then I had Vixens, which I had a lot of girls in Vixens.
Of course.
The
sexual harassment lawsuit happens, but in a video that you posted on your YouTube channel not too long ago, you say that it was less about sexual harassment and only partially about that, but also it was more about equal pay and equal rights for the women. So expound upon that, if you would, please.
Well, I was the lowest paid person there. Teddy Long was making $150,000 a year more than me, and he was an announcer. And he was a shitty announcer. He didn't have the hotline. His calendar didn't sell 64,000 copies. They never paid me my percentage that I was supposed to get. And after I got fired, I never got any of the money for the hotline, anything for my calendar, nothing like that. I was more standing up for myself to get the money that they owed me. I mean, yes, Oldie Anderson called me one time, and when I was at my apartment, me and Eddie had split up and I was living on my own, and he called me up and he said, come down to the office and give me a blowjob. And I just went, and hung up. I had to deal with a lot of stuff, like not having a dressing room, dressing in the janitor's closet. I was never treated as an equal. Women still aren't treated as equals in wrestling. And it's a shame because women can draw too. Women draw just as much as the men draw.
It's getting closer.
Nowadays, even more. And hearing that Charlotte Flair got $1 million a year contract is bullcrap. She should get more than that. She deserves more than that. And that company can pay her more than that. When there's a guy making $10 million a year. And she's only making $1 million. There's such a discrepancy in the way women are paid against the men.
I believe Becky Lynch is in the millions now. Mercedes Moné went to AEW.
Thank God.
She's making, I think, millions a year now, although that's not being released.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome to hear.
Yeah. I think Ronda Rousey, when she came in, as much as people don't like Ronda Rousey in wrestling, but when she came in, she demanded big money. I've heard at one point she was making only less than Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, which means she would have been making over $4 million a year.
That's great. I love it. I love that women can now stand up and demand money. I couldn't. I was told that I ought to be happy that I have a job and I don't have a wife and kids to feed. I was told that one time by, I think...
by Bill Watts?
Yeah, by Bill Watts told me that.
Just the way you said it, I went, it was Bill Watts, wasn't it?
You knew exactly who it was. Exactly.
Do you know how long after you brought the lawsuit forth did WCW settle?
2 years.
Worth your time?
years.
I won't ask.
Yeah, it was worth my time.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was worth my time. It wasn't a lot. It was what they owed me, basically. Probably less than what they owed me, but
a calculation of percentage you felt for the calendar and the 1-900 number.
No, I didn't get paid for that.
No.
It was more calculation on what the back paid, what I should have been paid.
Right.
And then my lawyers got 60% of it or whatever. So
still,
they were happy.
Yeah.
They were happy. I was happy. I was happy.